Hey guys, Will's Garage here. So in this video I'm going to be talking about rod bearings for the S65. I am going to be getting them replaced on my M3, and I'm going to be dropping off my car with somebody named Ray who's going to be doing it. If you guys are in NorCal, in the Bay Area, you might have heard of him before. He's quite well known for doing rod bearing replacements. So yeah, he does replacements I think on the S65, S54, and also the V10 M5. And he also agreed to answer some basic questions about rod bearings. So I'll see you guys when I get there. Alright guys, so we're here with Ray right now at his house, and if you guys are watching this video, you guys probably already know about rod bearings, but just in case you don't know, I'll just ask some basic questions. I'll just start off with, like, how many rod bearing replacements have you done?
I'd say close to right now. So I do keep track. So this is probably number 900.
What?
So, yeah.
900?
Yeah. So back,
all on the S65?
No, I started with so before I started working on BMWs, I worked on E86s back when I used to drift. I used to
Oh, that's sweet.
Back when I was 16 with a best friend at the time, we took the whole car apart.
Nice.
Put it back together, and that's where I learned the basics of mechanics at an early age. And then like as a M3 has always been like one of my dream cars since high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up an E46, and from the E46 platform, I've also done the same thing. Took the whole car apart, put it back together.
Awesome.
And
yeah, because I was gonna say, I mean, rod bearings are pretty like a big job.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of experience to be able to do something like that. So what are rod bearings? Why do they need to be replaced on the S65?
So S65, just like the E46. S54. These are high revving engines that wear at high RPMs, usually 8,000, 8,300 RPMs.
Yeah, 83.
So during high abuse and when engine oil is still cold, it usually wears out a lot faster than the normal, and it's just a known issue since from factory. So like with the S54 at the time, there's recalls where you have to send it back. They change out the bearings from factory, but it still didn't fix the issue, so you still had to get them replaced anyways. Mm-hmm. So fast forward to the E9X platform. I met this guy, Rob Collins. He's a guy from BE Bearings. He created the new bearings that gives you enough spacings for the crankshaft to bearing. That gives more lubrication to the crankshafts to minimize wear. So it's been good working with him, letting me know how to do the work and process. Wow, so yeah, it's been around the forums for a while, and that's how it was mostly word of mouth how I've been pushed around. So I'm just.
I think that's where I first heard about you,
Yeah.
right, way back in the day.
Okay.
But yeah, is there any way to detect bearing wear ahead of time, like any indications to look out for?
Not really. I think some people do oil analysis from Blackstone Labs. That can give you some early signs of copper, lead, but not really like if it's going to fail or not, because I'd say like with these engines, you just have to replace them, just
It's preventative.
yeah, preventatively.
Okay. And is there a common theme that you've noticed on bearing wear depending on mileage or year of car?
Not really. The weirdest thing is usually like the lower mileage cars. I'd find like well, example, like lowest miles, let's say 40,000 miles. I've caught some that were like already to the copper level. And there's this one time where a car came in and I took it apart, and by the time I got to one rod bearing as I was taking it apart, I pulled it out. It was like on the verge of cracking.
Oh my gosh.
So like it was just right on time that I saved that engine.
Nice.
But it's a weird trend where like the higher mileage ones seem to be okay, but are starting to show more wear.
Okay.
But some in the 40s and 50,000 miles I've seen very near like to getting.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's interesting because my car only has 42,000 miles. I think I put like 20 track days or so on it, but curious to see what it looks like.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And then, have you ever heard of anyone experienced rod bearing failure after getting it replaced?
Not after getting replaced. I've heard of maybe one person on a forum, but I would think that's more of, I'm not sure how the process they've done it. Usually I remind clients to properly warm up your engine to a certain temperature before you do red line. But if the oil is still cold, just continue driving at like 4,000 RPMs, 45, normal driving condition. But as for cars that had issues afterwards, it's still, I don't know if I'd say it's still early, but not many people go back and to ask to replace their BE bearings and see what they look like. Yeah. Not many people do that.
But speaking of BE bearings, are there like a specific type of bearing that you recommend?
Just as long as they have the proper clearance. The two options I would go with is BE bearings, ACL customs that I know Lang Racing provides, which are a mixed shell of H and HX shells, so it gives you the clearance similar to BE bearings. Okay. So that's the other option I would go for. But
okay, well, sounds good. I think those are just basic questions to add. I don't know do you have anything else to add?
Not so much.
I think you were showing me your workflow here and what you were doing.
This is the kit set that I staged, the new bearings. Okay. Here I'd put all the top shell bearings and then the bottom shells. And here I would place all the new ARP bolts. So during the process, I replace one at a time, and that way I can keep track and not lose my place. Yeah, so it's step by step, not take everything off and then go put it all on, because there's room for error there. Right. So as long as you take your time, go one by one, you'll know to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Awesome.
And then these are my torque sets. I make sure that the bolts are properly torqued with high grade torque wrenches. These are CompuTorques, these are a company from Snap-on. So Snap-on makes these torque wrench.
Gotcha. Awesome.
But yeah, this is a long process. It usually takes me about, at the time I first started, it took like 14 hours. Okay. But now I can do it in about 8 hours. But I still don't rush it. Yeah. I still kind of like make sure I wipe things, look for other issues. And I notify you. I show you pictures along the process. And it's just like my communication with you. I'll keep showing you like what I'm finding throughout the process.
That's great. Well, 900 plus rod bearing changes, and you do it all yourself from beginning to end, right?
Yes.
So,
just
that's incredible. Awesome. So, so I guess I'll just be leaving my car here, pick it up, and then we'll see the results.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
No problem. See ya.
All right, so we're back now. Ray has finished with the rod bearing replacement, and Ray has shared with me the pictures already. You guys probably have seen the condition because I've shared it right before this. But Ray, what do you think of the condition of the rod bearings for the mileage on this car compared to what you normally see?
Okay, yeah, for 42,000 miles, these rod bearings show quite a bit of wear, like more than others. But with your purpose, I know it's a track car, so you go out and use it quite often for that purpose.
Right.
And it shows heavy wear on top and bottom shells. Normally, it's just the top bearings that wear out, but this is showing like even wear on top and bottom.
Oh, okay.
So with this miles, I think like maybe with your usage, and if you were to keep tracking, I'd say maybe like 25,000 more miles in the copper area.
Really?
So
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty excessive, but you know, it's good to take care of it ahead of time. And with the proper BE clearance, I think you'll have more oil lubrication for your crankshaft. That will help prolong the life of your bearings.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
After seeing those pictures, I'm really glad I got it done.
Yeah.
And also the motor mounts. I think you're showing me how, I guess the conditioning was pretty bad.
Yeah,
like
yeah. So 42,000 miles. I'd never seen them like this worn out before. I marked them driver, passenger. This is typically a wear that I'd see like at an 80,000 mile vehicle.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a great time that you changed it out with some stronger Beamer rolled ones.
Yes.
And you'll feel more secure with those type of mounts.
Right. You know, thanks for all your insights and experience. 900 rod bearing changes, that's a lot.
Right
so if anybody wants to reach out to you to get their rod bearings changed, what's the best way to do that?
Usually, yeah, it's all word of mouth, and they somehow find their way to me. I know the BMW community is pretty small, and people know people, and you can just throw them my way or hit up my Instagram, Squeaky Clean.
Okay.
You have that link, right?
Yeah, I'll leave a link right here
there.
so you guys can see.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Ray. I really appreciate it, and it was really nice to see your E46 up close and personal too.
Totally.
It's an incredible car. So, all right, guys, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.